drain well, so you do hope the rain stays away. On the side of the pitch, there's puddles everywhere in front of the two benches here, and one has to worry about what that will mean in terms of playing conditions as the match wears on. Teko Mdisa, how did you find it underfoot early on here?
I think where we were, but you can tell that other side of it all, from the left-hand side where we were standing, you can see that there's a lot of water there, water patches as well. But it's just that because we were standing still, we didn't see much of those type of things. But we saw that when the players were actually warming up, there's a lot of patches that were covered and a lot of holes that were dug there to make sure that possibly maybe the water goes through. So like you said a little bit earlier on, I would just hope that the rain doesn't come through, because you can see the drain system here, it's not as proper.
Yeah, I think you saw even in a match, some of the images we showed you in the build-up, and the ground staff using pitchforks there to try and drain the water and or get some of the water into the ground. So yeah, it was a bit of a surprise actually. I mean, this is Arrow's home ground, but often you'll see the teams move their home matches against Kaizer Chiefs to the bigger grounds. Last season, when the two sides met in the league in Arrow's home game, the match was played at the Moses Mapida Stadium. You can see the puddles there in the middle of the park. Keegan Dolly, Shabalala, Reef Frosler. Well, of course, there's always, even for players, an opportunity to impress. So you always see that new coach bounce thing happen where as the new coach takes over and suddenly the team looks completely different.
Yeah, because the first thing that the new coach that actually tells the players is to play with confidence. And as players, that's what you want to do, because at that time, the time frame between the coach implementing his philosophy and system is too short. So therefore, the first thing that we tell the players, play with a little bit of confidence and conviction. And you can see the Kaizer Chiefs players as well. They want to touch the ball. They want to get the feel of the ball. They want to play with so much confidence. But also the fans are here to see them reacting to that defeat, reacting to what the team is going through.
And it's also an opportunity for a fresh start. If you have been a player who's not been in the squad, I look on the bench and there's a return for somebody like Samkelo Zwane, who hasn't featured on the bench since the end of September. Because Singipile Ngobo is also another one who last featured in September. So there's an opportunity for them to show the coach, and they know that they'll be judged on a clean slate, really.
Yeah, that's true.
Itlokwe playing it with Planti. Yusuf Mart. See that Kevin Johnson has left George Matlo on the bench. He's a player who's been buzzing lately for Kaizer Chiefs and has been at the heart of all things good, really, especially in attack for Kaizer Chiefs. So I must say it was a bit of a surprise to see him left out of the starting lineup. Also, Titi, maybe in hindsight, is you still want to win, you still want to consolidate in that midfield, you want to dominate, and you do have players that will give you that little bit of a shape when you're out of position. You have Mart, you have Teto in that midfield, Castillo. Those, when there is a need, they'll be able to bounce, to bite as well. But Matlo is more creative. Maybe we might see his cameo on the second half, depending on what the results are. But as a coach, in the first game after such what happened during the week, you want to consolidate a little bit. You want to at least, get the fans to be able to believe again into the team. Now, opened up here. 100%. No. Oh, they love him. Yeah, they got to have a huge ovation when he walked out for the on the team did their walkabout. Yeah. So there's a chance here for Chiefs to get things back on track. Another season and another trophy gone. So It's all now leaves them with just 2 opportunities at silverware. And already with 4 matches, having lost 4 matches already, you gotta say the league will be a mountain to climb.
Yeah, I think it will be a mountain to climb, but what the fans want, they want to see the players try. They want to see the players fight for it, convince the fans that you actually are trying, because then once you get that them backing you up, anything can happen in football. We've seen teams, letting go at the last minute. We've seen Kaizer Chiefs as well being in that position where they were supposed to win the league, and fortunately something happened in the last game. So they need to convince the supporters that they really, really want to be in contention.
Switching play. It's Sengobo will watch it back to Brandon Peterson. Well, in 2 matches, these 2 sides played against each other last season. Both sides lost at home. Chiefs won 2-0 at this ground. And Arrows Yusuf Mart leaving it for Shabalala, and that's a good ball out through to Frosler. Castillo thought about a shot, goes for the pass instead, and now beautiful ball floated in. Well read by Shitolo. I thought Castillo was going to put his laces through that one, Tego Medise.
Yeah, I think he thought about it, and I was surprised that he didn't take a shot there, because it was a nice layoff for him to actually try, especially in these conditions. You can just try and hit the target and force the goalkeeper to make a save. But yet again, that was a good pass from Shabalala to pinpoint Frosler on the right-hand side, and we know Frosler how good of a crosser he is. So this side of the pitch for cross, I think it's going to be a problem. It's going to be one of those sides that Kaizer Chiefs want to create chances from.
Watenga back in goal for Lamonfort Golden Arrows. As I said, they gave a debut to Nigerian Olufemi Kayobe in a cup game, and then he had to come off injured. The reserve keeper, Nkosingepele Gomete, to come in. He's on the bench again this afternoon. Knox Mutizwa closing in on 200 appearances for Lamonfort Golden Arrows. This is number 199. And what a servant he has been for this club. Castillo. When you have a Castillo, Yusuf Mart, and Tetwa in midfield there, how are you playing them? What is the...
I think that's been an interesting conversation, right? Because now you look at them closely, more or less they give the same characteristics. But yet what's different about Castillo is he gets into the box. He provides you that late run inside the box, so he becomes an 8 that goes box to box. But yet again, when you have Mart as well and Matlo and Tetra, I think you need to define and find a system and a formation that will fit all of them, because I don't think Kaizer Chiefs should be actually using them, 3 of them at the same time.
Other changes made up front. No Ranga Chibaviro started that game against Amazulu alongside Teboho Potsane, who didn't have his best games of Mart. Giving it for Shabalala now. And what's the ball out through to Frosler. Castillo thought about the shot. One marker and then another. Pulls the trigger, but pulled it.
Arrows continue looking good on those breaks whenever they win the ball. They tend to find and know exactly which spaces to utilize. And you can see there with Sibia, the player that when he's on song for Golden Arrows, they look dangerous going forward.
100%. And Sibia, one goal for him this season, but he's got 3 assists to his name. That's for the passes. A strong part of his game is what he does to set up other players. And they've left to bring in Nux Mutizwa. They've Lunga Nonguse, who's got 3 match goals, their top scorer this season. So he's on the bench.
Also with Mutizwa as well, when he came on last weekend, he gave him so much speed going forward in that transition. I think that's why, and he also scored a goal. Maybe that's why Coach Mahuti Kaizer complementing that, promoting that to be able to see more from Mutiso.
And apart from that, Mutiso just loves the game against Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
4 goals against Chiefs in previous meetings. So he certainly always got a goal in him. He's the player they would look to at any time for goals. The all-time, so 4 goals, that's a pretty decent return. Only Bernard Parker has got more goals in this fixture. And by the way, we continue to wish Bernard Parker a speedy recovery. From that horrible injury. That's a heavy first touch from Shabalala, but he got the pace to try and get himself back onto that one. But the signal is for a goal kick. He's a player who is obviously a youngster, still 19 years old, burst onto the scene. Too much fanfare, and I think a little bit too much expectation was placed on his young shoulders, because when you bring in a youngster like this, you want them to come into a team that's already buzzing. Now players, supporters suddenly were looking to him to make things happen, and he's the player learning the game, really.
Yeah, and once you start looking at him in that way, therefore you're closing in that space for him to continue learning, because if he's a crowd favorite, he's a player to go to at a young age like that, you probably automatically think that he has nothing more to learn. And I think that's the downfall of it. But it's just that you rightfully say you want to bring in a youngster, integrate him in a very stable team, and it's unfortunate that he came into this situation, and it's not the first one. Even in more a couple of seasons ago, it was the same thing. It's just an unfortunate situation for Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah, you can't have that. I mean, I think in fact last season he didn't progress as one would have expected. I'm talking now about Shabalala.
And I'm sure that once the team becomes settled, once he starts being coached properly, and then you'll see the progression of Shabalala, because we want to see him in the national team. He's a player that should be in the national team in a year or two.
And at the other end of the spectrum, a player who's peaking, as you saw then, Chaitwan, a player who, wow, a late bloomer, if ever there's been one.
The Hawks. I was a late bloomer.
I was about to say, even the guy next to me in commentary, by a lot of standards, was a late bloomer. How old were you when you made your PSL debut?
With Super Sport, I was 25.
And that by these days standards, when you're looking at 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds. But there is a thing to be said for that, because, and I think this applies not just on the field of play, not just in sport, but South African players, especially footballers, tend to mature later than their peers, say, in Europe. I mean,
true.
By age 25, you've got players who have already got 50 caps for country. So, but, and as I say, with footballers in particular in South Africa, just plainly put, even in life off the field, mature a little bit later.
Life off the field.
We don't generally find, especially in our communities, young boys getting married at 23, 22. No. I mean, David Beckham was a father at 23.
What an interesting document.
Yeah, lovely stuff that, Now, back to the action at hand. By the way, another notable omission in this Chiefs lineup and squad is Pulemodi. With 3 very successful seasons with Lamontville Golden Arrows. Been left out completely. He would have been keen to have a run against his old club. I think that's something all players want to, not that you have anything to prove, but you always want to perform well and show that I didn't move to the next club just for the tracksuit.
And also is one of those...
Oh, Mutizwa's feet. Dancing feet from Knox Mutizwa. And over there. Now, still a danger here. Good block from Reef Roslan. Beautiful stuff from Knox Mutizwa there. See the corner then for Lamontville Golden Arrows. An opportunity to the first corner of the game to test Brandon Peterson, and of course the wind here will be a factor in the way the ball will move in the air here. We are thinking maybe of a short one with Tebogo Tulani there. It's Tulani that takes it in across the face. And if there was a heavy touch there from Ndwandwe, I think if he had perhaps been able to hit that first time. Look at this.
That's such an inviting ball there for Golden Arrows. Good delivery from Tlolane. But you can see that Dube and Mantiane, I think they mistime the ball, but also it becomes very difficult when it's an outswinger, because now you need to assume where the ball might even land. But if it's an in-swinger, you know that with Sibiya, it's always dangerous to just rush to the first pole and trying to touch the ball. But it's a good delivery there from Tlolane.
Tlolane seems to have got something in the eye there. Was on the score sheet in that Arrows last game. Is it a contact lens or something maybe? Or something, he's got something in the eye. No, maybe not a contact lens. There's mud flying around everywhere there, so wow, what a run Mapudi Kaizer has put together here with Arrows. Their best start in DSTV Premiership for quite some time now. 17 points that they have amassed from their first 8 matches. Last season they had at the same stage had 6 points fewer. It's Kaizer in charge on his own these days since Kanu Vlagazi moved on to Chippa United.
And there's something.
Dolly comes off cross. Dolly finding his way back to fitness still.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the important players as well, that if he's fit, he'll add on to his experience and his attacking. And I think he's a player that can play that number 10 role very, very well for kids if they do decide to play. Because I strongly believe that in football nowadays, that's the position that is slowly dying. Nobody wants to use a number 10 anymore. And I think with Dolly's passes, his vision, and his shot outside the box, I think he can be a very, very important player for Kaizer Chiefs in that position.
Dink there over as Moteswa looks for the flick on. Laid back by Tatayao Nedi Tlokwe, who has got a new center. Whoa! Disaster! Can you believe it? Brendan Peterson again! This is extraordinary stuff. I cannot remember the last time I saw a goalkeeper make that many fatal mistakes, or mistakes that cost a goal. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable indeed. I mean, these are schoolboy errors at the back. You know the pitch condition is not, proper for you to play the balls in the back. And you could see also from the pass from the Tlokwe playing it back, you could see this. It continues again. He has ample time to play the ball out. He plays the back where he's so tight to the clock again. Look at the pass back, and of course he's no control over because the pitch is wet there. Of course, Motwiza is a striker that is lacking, but I think this could have been avoided. And here again, they got him punished for that.
It's a gift for Knox Motizwa, who helps himself to a 5th goal against Kaizer Chiefs. It's his first of the season in the DSTV Premiership. And he now becomes the joint all-time leading scorer in this fixture with Mapudi Kaizer, his coach this afternoon. And what a start for Lamont Golden Arrows. Gifted a goal there. Wow, I think I can count now probably 3 goals.
Yeah.
3 that have come from directly from mistakes by Brandon Peterson.
And it's not helping him as well in terms of restoring confidence within the fans itself. You know how Kaizer Chiefs fans are. You can see now he's outside of the box, and with all the mistakes that he has done now, they're feeling unsettled and feeling uncomfortable with him being outside the box. So now you can't play your proper football because of the mistakes that could actually be avoided.
Well, he's a keeper who has kept 4 clean sheets. But as you say, he's his own worst enemy here.
Yeah.
When he makes mistakes, they tend to be fatal. And wow, this is just remarkable. Twice it happened against Sundowns. And now, again, where seemingly there was no pressure.
No pressure at all.
Where he created his own pressure, really, with a hospital pass to Ngobo. Now they are chasing the game again, our Kaizer Chiefs. There's a man down for Chiefs there. It's a Saile clash of heads there. Just gets anyway. He catches it on the back of the head.
Yeah, and you look at the distance as well on the set piece where it is, and you look at the aerial strength of Kaizer Chiefs. I think this also can be part of the game today that they can benefit from, especially with Kikindole being back on the pitch, who is, I think, their free kick specialist. You do have Hlanti at the back, you've got Said at the back, Ngobo, you've got Shoke as well, so you can use it to your advantage and be able to come back into the game.
There's still a long way to go yet in the game. Only once this season have Chiefs had a lead at half-time. And here they are again, find themselves chasing a game. 3 times in the league, 5 times in consecutive competitions. In all competitions, the Chiefs have conceded first this season. Let's see what they can do then from a set piece. Castillo combining with chance here, an immediate response. Poor marking and suitably punished. Castillo with the assist, and it's Dante who makes a return to their team with a goal. Well, that's a perfect response then.
It is a perfect response indeed. You look at the distance as well that we spoke a little bit earlier. Look at the aerial strength that Kaizer Chiefs have. This is the type of a game that sometimes you don't have to play good, you don't have to play nice. Just use your aerial strength, especially whenever arrows are conceding those set pieces. And I think it was a good delivery there from Castillo. Nicely headed there from Hlanti.
Yeah, when they did everything perfectly, they heads it into the ground, makes it very difficult for the keeper.
Yeah.
And sends it back from whence it comes as well. So perfect execution. Great ball from Castillo.
Yeah, great ball indeed. Very inviting there. Watenga as well. I think those are the type of areas you need to possibly maybe anticipate, but you can't take anything away from Watenga. There was a free man at the back that could have done better defensively.
Relief, as you can see there. Castillo then adding to his goal involvements. 2 in the DSTV Premiership. Of course, he was so prolific as well in that MTN 8. Was Castillo. Well, they've brought themselves right back into the game, but I think Arrows as well. Big question marks about the way they defended that one.
Indeed. And I also always feel like Golden Arrows, they don't have the manpower to be able to defend set pieces, and I think that's one of their biggest Achilles within the season. And they need to find ways how to defend it, or the best way to do it is don't concede fouls in and around.
Watenga. Don't think there was much he could have done about that. I mean, it was from point blank range.
Yeah.
Shabalala. Well, the crowd obviously enjoy him as a young talent. He's exciting on the ball. He'll be up against an experienced player in Theron there. Won't buy the trickery. But what that goal has done then is brought Chiefs right back into this one. It'll ease the nerves, because you can imagine the levels of anxiety increase, not just on the field, but on the stands.
Yeah. I mean, you could see also after just conceding that TT, you could see that, it's something that they're here to support the team, but don't make mistakes like that. That will actually make it look like, things are getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And you can see that from Peterson, this is something that he could have learned. You've done those early into the season. Then how many more do you want to do for the youth to learn?
Shabalala. Dube for company. Mart. Looking for the 1-2 there. It didn't come off with Saile. Ngobo read it well. Keeps it in play and will get the throw in of Dube. Or Tulani rather. Well, in a VAR world, that would have been chalked off. But back live, heavy first touch there from Saile. Dolly. Frosla. Yusuf Mard. Kevin Johnson spoke about wanting Chiefs to dominate possession. And I think they've done that thus far. Nice touch from Keegan Dolly, looking to play it in the path of Frosla, and Dolly wins it again. Castillo. Wide to Frosla. This is good stuff from Chiefs. So as I say that, of course, Frosla puts in a nondescript ball aimed at no one in particular. Arrows now have it. Mutizwa was the intended recipient. Will go back to the keeper. And of course, every time the ball is played back to the keeper, you'll hear that noise coming from the stands as well. But credit to Brendan Peterson. He doesn't seem, he's clearly got a good way of keeping the noise out, because he keeps doing the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's possibly the coach's instruction, keep playing. And we always speak about, whenever a team that tries to play from the back, you always, in the beginning, before you get it right, you're going to make so many mistakes, you're going to concede so many goals. If you keep on doing it, you keep on improving, not making mistakes, but improving on your mistakes, that's when you start getting better.
Yeah, you have to pay your school fees, they say.
Yeah.
And that means conceding goals. And but the thing again, it's not just from playing at the back. I mean, he had that horror mistake as well against the Sundowns, where the ball kind of went through him into the net and cost them a point in that game. Cross doesn't get onto it, and Keegan Dolly's done well here. Saile will look to keep it in play. You can see that pitch already getting cut up badly. And the ball's not moving particularly well. In fact, that was part of what happened with that goal that Peterson conceded. The back pass to him got stuck in the grass, but he still had plenty of time to deal with it.
100%.
Shabalala looking and overcooks that one. Saile was on the back post. Christian Saile, the Congolese, who is on one goal this season, which is one less than what he got last season in 13 appearances for Chiefs.
Also, when he comes in and plays on the right hand side as a lopsided winger, I think it gives him something different with his speed cutting in with his left. As an out-and-out striker, it requires them to be able not to be worrying about the players that are behind you, worrying about the pass, you're worrying about the first touch. And I think maybe one of his strengths might be the one that he plays out wide as a winger.
Well, this fixture continues to deliver when it comes to goals. In the last 9 meetings between these two sides. Oh, another mistake at the back there. Ngobo dilly-dallying on the ball. The danger's not gone yet here. Mutizwa will look to bend it to the far post. But it took a deflection. Chiefs living very dangerously at the back there. Suicidal stuff.
And you can see that it gives Golden Arrows some more of courage to counter-press in around those areas, because Kaizer Chiefs want to force themselves out of that pressing line and at times clear the ball, get organized and start playing again.
Just as I was saying, this fixture continues to deliver when it comes to goals. The last 9 fixtures have produced goals. Last time we had a 0-0 draw between these two sides was more than 10 years ago, back in the 2011-2012 season. Confirming there a goal apiece. Swiss Atlantic pulling one back or bringing Chiefs right back into it after Knox Mutizwa was gifted a goal, his first of the season and his fifth against Kaizer Chiefs. Cross now on the overlap. Can he cross? Frosla does what he does. That's his first responsibility as a fullback, is to stop the cross.
Yeah.
Getting encouragement there from Mshini Ngobo. Looking to play out the back again, our Chiefs. It's the way of the modern game. Everybody fancies themselves as having the ability to play out.
Exactly, and I think with how they benefited, with also in the second time around now, how they nearly benefited. Because Golden Arrows allow Kaizer Chiefs to play from the back and then counter press and continue doing that. And I think they're backing off a little bit, not understanding why. But I think that's one thing that they should punish Kaizer Chiefs.
A misplaced pass again by Shabalala, but he's bailed out by Mtetwa. Frosler combining again with Dolly. And I've got to say, it is a favorite, preferred style of play these days, that opening out the back end, because when you can get through the press, it opens up the field in all kinds of ways.
Exactly. But you need to be able to play under that stress. Like counter press, you need to be able to play. You need to have players that actually have courageous to be able to come in and look for the ball. But also, when you play from those areas, you need to know exactly what you're doing.
Saile was all alone there. Frosler, and the keeper spilt it, and the chance still here. Saile gets it on the keeper, tight angle, makes a mess of that one. Great opportunities there, Watenga. Didn't make sure with the first one, and he spilt it. And there was a real chance for Chiefs to pounce on the loose ball there.
Yeah, but he reacted perfectly there. I think this is the first opportunity there for Kaizer Chiefs, where Golden Arrows are unable to clear the lines. Look at him, he spilled the ball, but look at the touch again. Shabalala there couldn't connect with the ball very well. And Watenga as well made things difficult for Saile as well. So I think it was very, very good for Watenga there, but I think for Kaizer Chiefs, they could have done better. A little bit of calmness, a little bit of composure there, they could have done better.
Especially that effort from Saile.
Yeah.
He needed to look up, but he immediately had a win for goal. And Peterson this time reached the danger and off his line quick. Frosler with that shot there was a well struck. He hasn't scored for quite some time. I think last time he scored was more in March last year in that derby. Soweto derby against Orlando Pirates, when he struck one from about that range and he hit it well. It was a similar kind of goal.
And he does have good technique with both feet. And I'm surprised that he doesn't have so many goals. But also I think one of his main job is also to stop the attackers and put on those crosses. So maybe once the team is in that groove, is in that flow, you find yourself in goal scoring opportunities, because teams now tend to defend a little more deep and there's enough space for players to maneuver.
Ndwandwe there gets just a warning from referee Tom, and telling Keegan Dolly, just, I got this, don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's not enough from Ndwandwe.
Referee Tom was in charge of that game between Chiefs and Amazulu last weekend, as the ball is whipped in here. That deflection could have taken it anyway, or a header it was actually from Ngobo. As the conditions deteriorate again here, the fine rain falling in the wind here in the Midlands. It can get nippy out here. 10 minutes to go to the break, when boy, it's flown by this first half. It's been full of all sorts. So the challenge there by Castillo on Tlolane is a bit late. 4 goals in all competitions for Castillo, 2 in the league, 2 in the Premiership, and also notching up an assist here this afternoon with a very well taken free kick. Mtetwa and Wales from Escort in Kaizer. Got a number of players in the Chief squad from this part of the world. Like we've got Ngobo, who's on the Nkosing Appealing Ngobo from Msunduzi. there near Maritzburg. Atlanti is a Durban boy. Here's Yusuf Mart. Oh, beautifully done here from Frosler. Rush that a bit.
Yeah, that's the composure we spoke about a little bit earlier. Doing all the right stuff, all the good work, good pass, you get into the right areas. Just apply a little bit of composure, especially now that the score is 1-1. With the experience that they have, a little bit of composure, it changes so many aspects of their game. And I think that's one thing that KGs need to implement, especially coming to the second half of this game.
The last 5 matches between the two sides have produced a winner. Mutizwa looking up and he'll find his offside. The last draw between the sides was in November 2020. A 2-all draw at home. It was a home game for Arrows.
Arrows completely wrong. He
wasn't even close to offside.
No, it wasn't even close at all.
By the way, Swiss Atlanti, that's his second goal against the Arrows. He scored last season as well in your 3-2 defeat at home to Arrows. Mdu Shabalala is the other player who scored for Chiefs that day. Here he is on the ball now, Mdu Shabalala. Looking to turn Shitolo. Very good defending, facing his own goal there. Theron had to get that right.
Yeah, he had to get that right, but very clever play there from Mdu to force his way inside the box there, to force his 10 rather, playing on the left-hand side, making that run across. Look at that skill. That's a good skill, but yet again, you need more numbers, more players inside the box.
They've got a corner, Kaizer Chiefs. As we approach a half-time at the Mpumalanga Stadium. First corner of the game for Kaizer Chiefs. Keegan Dolly. You can see the wind. Oh, he bent that one. Arrows not clearing their lines. Lanti very nearly running onto that one. Here's Dolly. Floating. Looking to get it to the back post. Lanti! Looking to get a brace here. The big centre back, big fullback.
A lot of second play from Kaizer Chiefs there. You can see how Golden Arrows are struggling clearing those set pieces, those balls inside the box. And look at the number of Kaizer Chiefs players around the box. And I think they're struggling with that. Atlanti couldn't get enough on it, but also you can see that the confidence is growing from the team, and they're looking to see that those set pieces they can actually benefit.
Watenga very nearly playing himself into a bit of trouble there, and then he bowls the ball out into touch. Comedy of errors there at the back for Lamontville Golden Arrows. Tetwa. Castillo. Shabala. Dolly. Shabalala. It's the challenge, Tetwa. One to the edge of the box. Arrows have it now. Mutizwa is on his bike, looking for the ball into the channel. Spear. Mutizwa scored a brace against Chiefs away from home last season. But Kubela, who since moved on, getting a third, the other goal in that game. And Arrows had to come from behind in that game. 5 minutes to go to the break. An entertaining first half. As I said, it's been full of everything. Looking for the ball over the top to play in Mutizwa. Forsla hurried into that one somewhat. Bradley Cross made the short trip from Maritzburg after they were relegated to join Arrows. It's opening up on Ndwandwe. Philipsene Ndwandwe, who hasn't scored yet this season, got 2 in the last campaign.
enough space in that midfield where he created one. Can see him, Duduzi trying to close him down, but not only being clever again, faking that shot, buying time and space for himself. Unfortunately, there for him, they couldn't hit the target.
Noble. Game is, it's been a very open game.
And with a few serious mistakes, were converted into goals.
And I don't know that we can blame the mistakes that we've seen on the conditions.
No, I don't think the conditions had anything to do with those, because I think they had plenty of time to be able to rectify those or to avoid them.
I think some sloppiness from both sides. And from a Chiefs point of view, they were punished at least once. It could have been twice that they got themselves into trouble. But I think at some point the Chiefs supporters are also going to have to ease off on Brandon Peterson. You can't do that every time the ball comes to him now.
Yeah.
Start heckling him. Like with fans like these. Castillo. Slowing it right down as the Arrows get men behind the ball. Away from Dante. He's playing in a very advanced role down that left-hand side.
Yeah, because you look at how Bolinaros as well drop a little bit deeper, so there's so much room and time for Ngobo and Hloko to be on the ball, so therefore it forces Dante to take up that advanced position because there's no pressure on the men on the ball.
Taron. Spectacular clearance from Ngobo, who seems to have now solidified that place next to Tata Onedi Tokwe as the centre-back pairing. Away by Shidolo into the last minute of regulation at the end of this first half. Level pegging on the scoreboard. Chiefs have enjoyed more of the ball without maybe troubling Watenga as much as they should have.
I think Golden Arrows allowing Kaizer Chiefs to have possession in areas where they know that they can't hurt them, and that's how the two centre backs with Ngobo, at times with Mtetwa and Choke, they're the ones who are having more of the ball, but they need to find ways how to transition that ball position into those open spaces or those pockets where Keegan Dole is, Mart is.
And if you think back, they go over the years, that is how Arrows have hurt Chiefs in transition, particularly using the pace of Mutezwa. Now Castillo turns to face go, and it came on the. It was some Yusuf Marte off his left peg there. We know what he can do on the right.
Yeah, he rushed it a little bit. We spoke about they get into those areas, and as much as Golden Arrows are defending a little bit deeper, but they don't press the men on the ball, so they do find spaces and times in those. But it's just that it's the composure that is required from Kaizer Chiefs when they get into those areas.
Dylan Shepherd momentarily. In your picture, there's sole survivor of the technical team that was led by Munifinzeki. By the way, Dylan Shepherd, of course, worked with Kevin Johnson at the School of Excellence. Deflection there, if it's going to be a corner. And this could be the last play of the half. Just a minimum of 1 minute indicated. So maximum concentration required here. This is not a time to concede a goal. Not that there is a time to concede a goal.
Exactly. This is a very, very critical time for a team not to concede, because you don't want to go into the half time, you know, with your heads dropped. You don't want to give another team an advantage.
And it totally changes the conversation at halftime when you concede just before the break. Saile Ntetwa. And that's the whistle for halftime from Abongile Tom. Well, it was a dramatic first half. Brandon Peterson making headlines again for all the wrong reasons. As, well,